Colleagues, I know you're impatient, and that's why I decided to step in before the consultations that we will have to answer your questions and to explain better our position. Yes, I know you have a question.
Thanks, Ambassador. Michelle Nichols from Reuters. You said in the page has been turned. Is that it? Is Russia done with this? Are you going to engage in any further negotiations?
Let me remind you of how it all developed. So a year ago, we all agreed, the basis of our understanding was our common position with the United States, that humanitarian efforts in Syria needed improvement. And we agreed on the text of 2585, which was composed in the way that we were all waiting for the report of Secretary General in the midterm after 6 months. So the formula was expired. It will be extended subject to substantive report of Secretary General. I may be mistaken in the words, but something like this. When it came to the moment when it was about to be prolonged, we said, guys, we had some kind of homework which we agreed to do. You failed to do this homework. But we heard things that were absolutely opposite and breaking the trust that emerged at the beginning of these consultations. And they were said publicly. They sounded like whatever Russia would like to do, the resolution will be automatically extended for 6 more months. So it was a breach of trust, undermining of a trust for sure. So this year we tried to learn this lesson, and we said, okay, let's extend it, let's put the formula that it is for 6 months, and then the Council formulated that there is a desire to extend it further with the help of a resolution. So with a view to further extension. This is the phrase in our draft. What our American and British and other colleagues are now trying to imply is that 6 equals to 0. And that there is no will in this draft that we proposed to extend this resolution further. This is totally a fail. I told you several times that my arithmetic is not very bad, it's very good. So I think that 6 doesn't equal to 0. So we tried to learn this lesson right now, and we said that we propose the text of the resolution where we would take account of everything that was done wrong for the first time, where we would reconfirm the commitment that we did 1 year ago, and we will have a good text, and then we all, in good faith, commit for extending this resolution and making our homework. What our Western colleagues are now trying to say is that we are not committed to doing our homework even after the 6 months. And this is very bad. That's why the picture that our Western colleagues try to present, that Russia is against cross-border mechanism and Russia is against extending this cross-border mechanism, is totally false.
So, Ambassador, though, a lot of your colleagues said that they would like to try and continue negotiations to see if an agreement can be reached before the deadline on Sunday. Will Russia continue with negotiations, and are you still open to some kind of compromise?
If someone proposes our draft, we would not say that this is our intellectual property. If someone proposes our draft for the second time, why not? If not, I think that the page is over.
So the UAE and Brazil both suggested 9 months. Is that a starter?
No.
So what about a 6-month technical rollover?
It's not a technical rollover for 6 months. It's substantial rollover. And again, I told you that the starting point for our efforts was to improve the things that we have agreed about 1 year ago. This is our common commitment. We thought it was our common homework that we need to do. And our desire was to recommit to this homework. But our Western colleagues, by speaking in the way they spoke in the Council, clearly see that they don't care about these commitments, they don't care about this homework, and of course it puts in danger the whole situation.
So just to clarify, if any other draft is put to a vote that is not your draft, you'll veto it?
Obviously.
So the US ambassador accused Russia of this veto will kill people will die in Syria. What's your response to that?
When she rejected our draft, that's her responsibility, not ours. We proposed a solution which implied 6 months plus the desire of the Council to extend it for the further 6 months. Again, 6 doesn't equal to 0, in my view. She says it equals to 0.
So is the UN cross-border aid operation from Turkey into Syria dead?
We have several days. I told you that we do not care if somebody will take our draft and reintroduce it. We may be committed to it, but I don't see at this point any other option. Even given the fact of the words that have been said today, I think this has been made almost impossible.
It sounds like you're not even open to further negotiations on anything.
We are.
You
We
are?
are open to negotiations, but negotiations and solution is a different thing. I think they have a solution in hand, and they know what to do. They know how to call us. We are always available. I think you monopolize a little bit.
I know.
Maybe
Sorry,
somebody
if
else
someone
wants
would like
to
to
ask.
ask a question. That's fine. How have the Russia has been internationally isolated over Ukraine here at the UN?
Sorry, this is wrong.
Sorry?
This is wrong. We are not internationally isolated over Ukraine. And if
The
we speak,
GA vote, though, would show international isolation.
the last GA vote was for membership of ECOSOC, and 118 countries supported our candidature.
I'm talking about the GA resolutions in March that denounced Russia for invading Ukraine.
You can speak about the GA resolution of 1948 or 50, I don't know. We're not speaking about history, we're speaking about the current state. But I suggest I need to return to the consultations. If there are no more questions on cross-border, then maybe that's it. Yeah.
Regarding based on the General Assembly resolution that you are, so you need to give explanation for the General Assembly because you are using, you are the first one that you are using the veto.
We will do it with pleasure because we will expose the hypocrisy and double standards of our Western colleagues. They had at hand the solution to this, but they rejected it, and they now try to blame Russia. As the Brazilian president said that we had 99% agreement on this, but they didn't want to acknowledge the fact that we had to do our common homework, which we agreed a year ago. We can't accept the fact that they undermine this trust. It's absolutely unacceptable for Russia. So I would be very much ready to repeat it in General Assembly.
So do you have a solid explanation for the General Assembly?
I voiced it to you.
One more question. Are you disappointed that China did not vote no with you on the first resolution?
China is a sovereign state. They have their own interests. We are allies, we are partners, we respect each other, but it doesn't mean that we always see things eye to eye on every issue. Okay? Thank you very much.